Much love, meditator. Welcome to Be More Love. My name is Brooke, and I am here to help you understand meditation so that you can find the best ways to make it work for you. I love to inspire people to meditate because nothing has helped me in my life more. I am not a mental health professional. I'm a meditation teacher and enthusiast, and meditation is a vast topic. So today, we're just going to cover some meditative hobbies. While going down the list, these might be some things that you already do. However, anything where you can drop into your breath, into the present moment, where you can really focus and become in the here and now, can become a meditative hobby. Anything that doesn't involve any critical thinking, where you have to use thought processes too much. Anything where you can just kind of get into a trance or flow like state. Anything where you can tap into your breath while you are doing it can be considered a meditative hobby. So if you already have a meditation practice and you're trying to find ways throughout the day to utilize a more meditative state, or if you're not quite ready or interested yet in doing a daily dedicated meditation practice, these activities can start to get you into a meditative state of mind, so that it can get your frequency, vibration, your being into more of a calm and present state. So, let's start to go over some of these. First and foremost, easily enough, we have walking. If you're aware of which foot is stepping, where you're at, your surroundings, if you feel the breeze, tuning into your body while walking can become a meditative hobby. Anything where you're not thinking too hard, you're not on your phone while you're doing it, you're not talking to somebody while you are walking, just being in the present with you and your walk. It could be a walk down the sidewalk, the nature walk. For me, it helps a lot to focus on which foot I'm stepping on. Walking slower and slower so you can be more present while you are walking. Another physical meditative hobby is dancing. And so I wouldn't say learning to dance would be meditative. Just kind of any free form, flowing dance, letting your body be the guide, following breath with movement is also a great way to incorporate meditation into your day, into your physical hobbies. Another physical meditative practice would be yoga or Tai Chi. Yoga, the physical practice of yoga, which is called asana, which is what most people see from yoga when you have your yoga mat and you're going to your yoga class. Even if you do yoga at home, not in a yoga class, being completely present as possible with your body so that you can find balance and, of course, absolutely using your breath. Tai Chi is another, like organized movement, a set of movements where you incorporate your breath, and Tai Chi particularly incorporates energy flow. So finding a YouTube video where someone is leading Tai Chi and just following along with the movements, listening to your breath as much as possible. Another great meditative hobby is painting, any kind of art, crochet or knitting. Personally, I cannot get down with crochet or knitting, but I know that crocheting and knitting, once you get into the groove of it, can become a very natural, repetitive thing. Art hobbies that are repetitive can also be considered a meditative hobby because you're not using any or too much critical thinking in order to do it. You're just kind of there. It's a relaxing thing, just doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know what people do with their hands when they crochet, but I'm assuming it's repetitive and keeps you in the moment, keeps you present with what you're doing. Another thing that can keep you present will also be considered meditative when it comes to hobbies. So knitting, crocheting, painting for sure. Any kind of painting. It could be what's the one with the numbers and the outlines? Painting, drawing, coloring. Anything where, again, not too much critical thinking is required. You just kind of let it go, be there in the moment. It's pleasant. Anything that is pleasant while you're doing it can also be considered meditative hobby. Any kind of chore where you can be present. Literally, well, you know what, I wouldn't say any chore, but maybe. Depends on you if you're able to enjoy doing the dishes instead of just like, oh god, I hate these dirty dishes, just do them and throw them to the side. You can be present, listen to your breath while you're doing the dishes, make it much slower than it usually is. Sweeping, very meditative, very purifying, and cleaning. Cleaning can be a very meditative thing, a very cleansing thing, because the act of meditation is to purify the mind. So any chore where you can try to relax and be more present, you can always listen to your breath while you're doing chores. You can always listen to your breath anytime, really. Cooking can also be a meditative hobby. It can be a very present type of activity. You can be practicing a lot of presence while cooking and just gently, slowly going with the flow. Have you ever tried to rush through a recipe and then you're like, crap, forgot to save the pasta water? The dreaded pasta water. If you slow down, listen to your body, listen to your breath, take your time while you're cooking. Cooking can also be a quite pleasant and meditative thing. Another meditative hobby you can consider would be grounding activities such as gardening, moving the soil around, feeling the soil on your hands, taking your time, connecting with the plants, connecting to your breath. My mom would always talk to her plants while gardening. I've read somewhere that speaking close to your plants, something with the chemicals that come in and out of your breath. I don't know the exact terms for that, but gardening is also meditative because when you meditate, you connect more to nature. And when you're connecting to gardening, obviously you're connecting more to nature, so it just enhances that experience even more. And the last thing I have on my list is journaling. I don't really know if that's considered meditative or a hobby, but it is something that you can do before or after meditating, or just not after your meditation practice. You could just free form write whatever is coming out of your head. Just write it out, honey. Write it out. So yeah, walking, painting, dancing. Oh, I also have reading poetry on here. So I would say maybe reading isn't that much of a meditative hobby because it is taking effort and perhaps some critical thinking to read. However, poetry is there's not much to figure out about it most of the time, and you can always pause before and after, close your eyes and take some breaths while reading poetry in order to really take in what you just read. And maybe while you're actually reading too. So again, any activity that you can use your breath during, any activity where you can stop and listen to your breath, or as you're doing it, you can listen to your breath, observe what you are feeling and experiencing, is considered a meditative hobby. So if I missed anything that I didn't have on this list today, go ahead and leave a comment. If you would like to contact me with any questions, comments, or concerns about meditation, I would love to talk with you about it. You can either DM me on Instagram or send me an email that is both in the description box below. But I just want you to remember that no one can experience your life but you. So let's close our eyes and focus on our breathing any chance that we can.